Hello and welcome to another episode of Born of Rage. We are the Untold Stories Project, and we this is our ongoing Werewolf the Apocalypse game set in White Wolf's World of Darkness. My name is Jonesy, and I will be your storyteller this evening. A quick note for those unfamiliar with the World of Darkness: this is a horror setting where the players take on the role of monsters. In our case, werewolves, and also called Guru by the members of their society. Um, uh, with that said, there was a good note I want to make about the content about the stream. This is a horror game, and the players will engage, may engage, probably more likely engage, in adult language and occasional adult content. Along with that, they may encounter some NPCs who aren't as enlightened and will use offensive and derogatory language. Um, this current season's episode deals with the Valkenburg Foundation, a rehabilitation center for guru who've suffered from traumatic events. Since this is dealing with the topics of mental health, if this is a topic you're not uncomfortable with, please consider checking out one of our other great streams instead. We have an ongoing uh, Pathfinder podcast that comes out every week. We also have a Fallout game, which will be airing tomorrow night. And on Monday nights, we have our brand new Mutants and Masterminds Nether War Chronicle going on. With that said, let me go ahead and introduce our pack.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I will be playing the parts of Darren, who is an Arun Get a Fenris, former NYPD homicide detective, turned pack alpha for the Trail Mix pack, and he will crash a car into you.
I'm Aaron. I'm playing Kennedy Blood on the Dance Floor, who is a Fianna Galliard, who in her previous life was a Irish dance champion and is now very bitter about not being a Irish dance champion. So she takes it out on the faces of anyone who gets in her way. She might have a little bit of anger issues.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian and I am playing Killian Jackson, the Glasswalker Ragabash. I'm currently going through all the Prison Break movies I can think of to get into this complex.
And I'm Andy. No, not that one. And I am playing Dell, Speak Softly, your lupus-born Theurge of the Children of Gaia. Dell is a highly sensitive person, neuroatypical, kind of a spiritual advisor, and occasional surprise nudist.
Surprise!
He's also normally a wolf.
Saturday night.
He's doing his best.
I feel like surprise nudist is the best euphemism for werewolf. That's going to be our go-to for not breaking the veil around normal people.
I wonder if that works in real life.
Probably not.
Surprise
hilarious.
nudist is better than indecent exposure.
So with that, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We are a small independent channel. Well, very small, very independent. Our goals are to highlight some settings and systems that don't get as much love and support us some of the big two or three. With that, we do need your help to make that happen. So you can help us by tuning in and letting us know what you think and sharing with your friends if you like what we do and all that fun stuff. Also, if you sub or like or share or follow, those can actually help the pack or me, depending on who you want to help out, by adding extra bonus dice that they can tap into. So with that being said, just want to hit with a quick recap. The pack is currently working for the Valkenburg Foundation as the questing pack. They are sent out to find lost and wayward guru who are in need of assistance, so they can be brought back to the Valkenburg Foundation and hopefully helped. Currently, they've been sent to the Great Pacific Northwest and the state of Washington, where they are tasked with going and recovering a lost guru that's currently in the hands of the United States federal government and a research facility. They arrived at Cauldron Rock, which is a local cairn up in the northwest run by the Red Talons. and they were given a brief lay of the land. And since then they have made their way around to the actual laboratory itself to discover that it's pretty much a blight on the Umbral side, the Spirits realm. So with that, that's where we will find our pack. They're laying in wait, kind of in lupus form, and keeping an eye on the compound to figure out what they want to do.
Not just a blight, but also locked up pretty damn tight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is a federal research facility, so there's a.
Oh, this is the feds. We can't mess around.
Which is one of the reasons that the Gretchen from the Valkenberg Foundation is so keen on you recovering the Gru, so that you don't, so the veil is not breached.
Right, but has she met us? Because we're not exactly subtle.
That would be correct. You're not exactly subtle. The compound itself is a rather large series of buildings. Inside a large 40-foot tall perimeter fence, armed with, topped with concertina wire. At least from the distance that you've gotten to where you can see, there does seem to be regular patrols of armed guards who travel around the compound in jeeps. At least on the physical side. On the Umbral side, you can see that the compounds is pretty much there intact, and the fence has been replaced by a briar and thorns wall that crackles and hisses. And there's also 2 large guard towers that would mark the entrance in the physical world, and the Umbral side they kind of wither and pulse as they are bound with sentry banes.
Right, well, this is all terrible.
This is very terrible.
Really do not want us to get in.
I didn't even know you could have this much defense on the Umbral side of things.
Sometimes it's worse on the Umbra side than it is on the physical.
So
Our preferred tactic of trying to break into every place going through the Umbra is not always the best plan.
It's been the best plan so far, but you're right.
Sure, but
I think this would probably be one of those worse in the Umbra kind of situations. Just a feeling.
I don't know, it looks pretty terrible on this side too. All right.
the land surrounding the compound itself is pretty flat and desolate. It seems to be parched and sun-baked, where it's all cracked and dried out, which is unusual for the Umbral side, especially when it doesn't reflect the physical world.
Also, yeah, the Pacific Northwest is not really known for its cracked earth.
No.
Not so much.
So was there anything else that you wanted to specifically ask about as far as the compound or the facility or the lay of the land or?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
All right, well,
Everything has been laid out in front of us here.
yeah. Well, Darren, you used to be a cop. How would you break into a place like this?
The warrant?
Oh, there we go.
'Cause
Let's just get one of
these people were sort of lawyered up, I would imagine, up to their eyeballs, if I had to guess.
It's gonna be really hard, especially if it's a federal building. They have to authenticate you before you get in. You could be subject to a search, and then you get to the actual building and you have to authenticate to even open a door.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not looking forward to figuring out.
All right, so I mean, watching. I'm assuming there's there's a badge check at the gate. Can we make out if like people like swipe cards to go into the buildings or?
Yeah. So are you guys gonna stake out the building for a little while?
I
Because
think
when
that's got to be our
w-
best course of action.
when
Oh,
when you first
I'm
showed up,
curious.
you. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm curious because how again do we know that there is a lost cub inside the complex?
We were tipped off by Gretchen.
I mean, so I mean, surely there's. I'm pretty sure. Surely there is somebody we can talk to. That we can. I think there's got to be a way of finding out a little bit more about this building that doesn't involve just sitting outside it. It seems as if a frontal assault is not going to get us where we want to be.
I agree.
That is an astute observation.
So, as as a reminder, you did come late at night because you traveled. You didn't leave the moon bridge until after moonrise. So you didn't arrive until Cauldron Rock until late this evening, and then you got a tour of the lay of the land by one of the group from that pack from that sept. So it is late at night. So right now,
Right.
I'd really rather not greet the sun here in the morning.
you've got at least several hours before the sunrise. So
All right, so we're not going to be able to get any ideas about patterns of movement or how they get in or anything like that right now. And Dell doesn't want to wait around, and honestly, neither do I.
I think that's wise. Maybe we should find a hotel in town.
Like Dell's idea, we need to figure out how exactly they got this tip, because if it's just hearsay, if they're gonna move the person,
If
there are a lot of
they-
variables in how we can approach
I'm trying to
this.
remember what she said. She said,
Well, we have a letter that was
"Yes, that would be
intercepted.
helpful." The lector.
Uh,
Hmm.
Gretchen showed us the letter. The letter. It went from. It was from a Dr. Rolf Hergman
Right.
to Dr. Greffig, which means that I guess that Rolf Hergman is the person here inside the lab.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember. How did Gretchen say how she got the letter? Did Greffig give it to her or?
a kinfolk managed to swipe it and
Hmm.
get it to her.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually say whether or not.
Folk in the location or a kinfolk at USPS?
Oh, she may not
He
have
did not
said.
specify.
I'm just curious. I mean, if she is relatively local, was she picked up around here, or, I mean, I just figure that there's got to be something more we can find out.
Well, Killian, can you look up and see if if there's a Dr. Greffig who's from this area? Maybe she lives in the town.
Yeah,
Or Hergman. Maybe he has a home address.
Yeah,
I can give that a shot. We just need to get out of the Umbra.
There's.
I thought most of us were in the physical world. One of us just peeked into the Umbra.
When you first came over, you were in the Umbra.
Oh, right. No, we peeked to the real world.
Yes.
So we're
Because you want, this is bad. And then you
And then we looked over and it's like, oh, this is worse.
much better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then, do we want to go back over to the town and take two legs and get a room, and you can dig around on the computer?
I think that's the best course of action for right now.
Unless there's something spiritual we're overlooking.
If there is, I have not sensed it.
The only spirit I see is murderous intent on all those guard towers.
That's my least
I mean-
favorite spirit.
At least they don't seem to be actively looking beyond the towers. Like they're not like patrolling out here. So
Make me a wits and enigmas check.
crap.
Isn't that just fun? Right. This is where I get to see if
What's the difficulty?
I'll say 6.
I've been playing too much Pathfinder. I almost said what's the DC. I got 3 successes.
Okay. Eyeing the Bane-bound towers with a pretty astute, once over. You're pretty positive they're not actually paying attention to the Umbra at all right now. That they're in the Umbra, but they're tasked with keeping an eye on the mundane world.
Gotcha.
Well, that is very bizarre.
It's very bizarre, but well, no, it's not. It just means that they are not expecting. They're using some sort of spirit magic to protect the place, but they're not expecting a spiritual assault. They might not even be using spirit magic or not realizing that they're using spirit magic.
There's certainly some. The Umbra is pretty busy over there, but no, they may not know what they're doing.
I have a very cheesy, probably somewhat suicidal way of getting in. People are very lazy in places or workplaces where they have to key in. Like, you know how they say, close the door, the next person will key in for security reasons to open it up, right?
Right, and then nobody does, and you can slide right in behind someone.
Exactly. So as long as the door is open in the physical realm, we just wait for somebody to open the door and we slide in. But as for getting out and the rest of that, what's up in the air?
I don't think the Umbra. I don't think it will quite look like that in the Umbra.
With the door, will we
Right.
see a door opening in the Umbra? Because it's
Not
just
necessarily.
people. We still see the physical objects, like the.
I would not expect
there.
to see a door opening in the Umbra. I don't think. Maybe I am incorrect.
I would be concerned if I saw a door open in the Umbra.
It would be the
Right.
same door we're looking at.
No,
We just
I
see
feel
the
like it'd be
reflection
like
of
a door
the
to
door.
hell, or like the
No,
Antichrist
no,
being
no.
let out, or something like
Not
that.
again.
I don't like the idea of opening doors in the Umbra.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a big door. I'm talking about like the building door, because we just see a reflection of what's in the real world. So if that reflection changes,
Right. But
Physical world.
physical world.
you don't. In the Umbra, if you see a building, like one of these big boxes, it means it's been there for a while. So if say one of the boxes gets taken down and they put up another box in its place, that new box may not be present in the Umbra for quite a while. So having a door open in the physical world would not necessarily mean that there is a door opening in the Umbra.
Makes sense.
Door, like locks, have spirits. You can't just walk past a lock.
Darn.
But doesn't mean we can't get past them.
All right, well, I'm tired of talking about it because we're not coming up with any solutions right now, so let's go to town.
Indeed.
We can theorize in town as easily as we can theorize sitting here.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be warmer there, and I get a cup of coffee. And I can do my police research thing on this company and see if there's anything I can figure out about recently fired employees or people with grudges, or if they're poisoning the water supply, any intrepid reporters who might be doing files on those people.
Poison the water hole.
Now you're thinking with portals.
They're poisoning the reservoir.
So
We're in a Batman movie now.
and they did.
So, yep. And
Or did they?
so you're gonna head to town. You said.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna look for a Hyatt or a Hilton or something that we can stay at.
But lucky us, this whole state just loves Motel 6s.
I know it's the Road of Darkness, so we're probably getting a motel, but Darren's looking for a nice hotel if he can find one.
We'll leave a light on for you. Um,
A motel 3.5 at best.
Motel copyright.
Said, do we even know where we are?
Nope.
I mean,
Park
Yeah.
generally in Washington somewhere.
I've got my
that's
GPS.
such a vague.
That's a
I've
big
got the
state.
power of the internet in my hand, guys. It's just a smartphone.
Well, once we get back into the material world, absolutely. But
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we yada yada.
Or more specifically, the part of the material world in which you can get a cell signal.
That's true.
Well, we're probably not going back to the material world anywhere close to here because the gauntlet here is going to be crazy.
Yeah, we can make our way back.
Yeah, let's spirit walk into town.
okay. So the pack goes in.
It's towards town, and at some point we'll revert from the Umbra to the material world.
So you head west out to the town, and it's a little bit of a hike, but not too far. It's fairly big, fairly straight shot down Highway 118 from the lab where you're at into the city of Redland. At the point where you cross back into the physical world, Killian's phone begins to vibrate and buzz as he gets a whole bunch of spam emails and texts and stuff as he's been out of service for a while. And they all catch up.
God bless.
That's so good.
And yeah, you open your phone, you open up Google Maps and find out where you're at, and you're near the city of Redland. You can do a quick search on the city and all that fun stuff. The big thing the city has going for it is that it sits near the Columbia River, and yeah,
What state were we in again?
you're in the state of
Washington.
Washington.
Sorry.
Confusion.
Put in. Almost put in Oregon.
State
We
of
are in a state of
confusion.
confusion.
I'm in
Denial.
land of confusion.
That's karaoke night. That's Friday. Actually, it's never because lockdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What a
I-
beautiful place.
I have not seen the sun in like 2 years. Let's see.
Well, to the Motel 6 we go.
Off I go.
It's
Yep.
$45 a night, except 20 for the one with the murder in it.
I can't have that one.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, right?
That would be a bad idea. Don't give the Theurge that one.
Aw.
I'm just saying. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
Figure.
So you quickly check. It's a decent sized city. It's primarily Google Maps will tell you it's primarily known as a logging and farming town. Yeah. So yeah, you're able to get in the town and you find a nice Motel 6. And by nice, I mean, well, it's a Motel 6. We'll keep the rain off.
There's a
That's-
pool out front that's
that's the new
empty
slogan.
except for one rickety pool chair in the pool.
Tom Bodette was just in a bad mood that day. Like, it'll keep the rain.
So yeah, and with that, who's flipping the bill for this?
I'm footing the bill.
Are we sticking Darren with the bill, or are we gonna have the Glasswalker? I don't know, Glasswalker it.
Oh, that's right, Darren. Your credit card has identifying information. We can't do that. I guess I will glasswalker it.
We really gonna hack that? Fine.
Hack is a very generous way of saying it. And besides, these are feds, and they already have spiritual hoo-ha on their building, so I don't want to get tracked.
You
Right, but
know,
we're not
that is the
ripping
most
off.
reasonable thing you've ever said, Riverdale.
So yeah, you're able to do shenanigans, and Mr. Smith is going to get a room for him and his uh,
Colleagues?
two
Polycule.
kids.
Say we've passed Aaron off as our stepfather before.
That's true.
Daddy Darren.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so
Guys,
it's,
what are we here for? We're here for a hiking trip.
the two of you, dad and his two kids, and their emotional support canine.
That's a wolf. No, it's not.
He's got a chip. He's a canine.
What was the name of the city again?
Redland. So
Okay, I guess we just
So-
sit in the motel.
so you've crash pace space set up. Was there anything specific you were gonna try to do or find out, or and if so, how?
Yeah, I'd like to research the doctor's name on the interwebs.
Okay, go ahead and make me a wits and computers check.
It's and is it 6?
Yeah, we'll say difficulty 6.
Wits and computer. Come on, 6. And it looks like I got a big, fat loading. 3. I got 3 successes.
Sweet. So with that, you're checking for. So my stuff's being a little slow to respond. There we go.
It's not re-rolling tens.
It doesn't, unless
Oh.
you have a specialty.
Oh. Well, in that case, the code that I gave you last week was incorrect, Andy. But
Oh yeah, I think I might have ended up
but
Undeservedly
now that you've got a
re-rolling
character
some
sheet, it
stuff.
doesn't matter. So
So, um,
darn addition changes, confusing me.
yeah, there's been a couple editions. The game's been around for a while.
I mean, yeah.
So you find an entry about the doctor. It talks a little bit about his work and things like that. You can see that he's attended some conferences. He's pretty big academia-wise. He is a local. I mean, he lives in Redmond.
Ooh.
Because he works at the facility, the Northwest National Laboratory. You got 3 that you said, right?
Yep.
With that, you see that the Northwest National Laboratory, there's a link for that, has been around since the Manhattan Project.
Oh.
It is one of many facilities that was spun up and started around that time. and yeah.
Hmm.
How old is he?
He's in his 50s.
50s. Where was he born?
It looks like he was born in Rochester, New York.
What was his job before New York? I think we can get a home address out of this man.
Well, that's where he. So his home, he's got a home address. It doesn't list his local address. It just says his little bio on the site says that that the academia journal that you found was currently lives in Redmond, Washington. Blah blah. Currently working at and it lists some of his degrees and his titles and stuff.
Does it say how long he's been working there?
From the impression you get from the article, it doesn't say exact years, but it seems like he's been working for the laboratory for quite a long time.
I'm trying to think. Um, hmm. Wait. Do we know his exact position at the federal institution?
No, it doesn't give a specific job title. It
Damn it.
says just gives us his doctor. Doesn't say a specific job title.
In fact, everybody, federal employees, all the wages are disclosed. So as long as you know somebody's job title, you can search up their income. And then I was going to try to see what houses he could afford and then track the realty site from there.
You're
I
doing
guess we
all
could-
the Glasswalker stuff. I'm here for it.
God,
While you play with your box, I'm going to go take a shower.
That's fair. We could also just pretend to be nerds at the local. Is there a university here? Or a college? Or.
There's a local college, but not a yeah.
What were you going to say, Kennedy?
Nothing. That was a
You
errand
just go in a
thought.
shower?
I'm gonna go take a shower
That's fair. That is fair.
because I don't understand anything about computers other than the most basics, and you don't need me to help with that. So we've been traveling and running around, and I've been a wolf for most of the last 12 hours, and so I'm gonna go take a shower.
No problem.
In other words, this is Kennedy saying, I have absolutely no useful skills when it comes to investigations.
I am just trying to brainstorm. Wait, he's a public figure, right?
What do you mean by public figure? I mean,
He's a doctor. There's a local college, or
it's
is
like
he just a
eminent in
private
his
citizen?
field, right? I think that's what Steve said. Is that he's kind of like he's kind
mean,
of a
he-
big deal.
he's got some some credit, and he's obviously has some papers published, things like that, which is actually what you found is a couple dissertation, a couple peer review articles and stuff for journals that he's written. So I mean, he's seems, based on the little search that you've done, he seems to be respected in his field. He is a doctor of psychology and psychiatric studies, but he doesn't have a practice or anything like that. I mean, he works for the NNL.
He doesn't see regular, like, sort of off the street patients.
He does government research.
One of them research psychiatrists. That actually is more troubling of a phrase than I expected it to be.
Right?
Yeah.
Something about that makes me unhappy.
Yeah. Sorry I said that.
Wait.
And the fact that he may or may not have a traumatized guru who may or may not have control over her um, rage.
Yeah.
That is.
I've
not
got an
cool.
idea, Jonesy.
Okay.
So, this is going to be a little bit. So, I will accept all the possible roles. Does he have a Twitter or a social media account?
Um, make me a roll. It's gonna be wits and computers. Difficulty 8.
8. Okay. I'm gonna spend a gnosis for it.
Willpower.
Willpower for it. I am willing and I'm abled. I am being hacker man.
Thank you, Hacker Man.
No complaints.
Okay, why can't I? For anybody watching, don't do what I'm doing at home. It might be illegal. Where?
Might, he says.
No, yeah.
He's a glasswalker. Of course, what he's doing is shady.
I'll just roll it, and ooh, I got 2 successes. So 3 with the willpower then.
Okay. So he does not have a Twitter, does not have a Facebook. What you find is a Snapchat.
He uses Snapchat.
He has, which he hasn't used in forever, and then you find his.
So sad his mistress broke up with him.
Um, and then, other than that, you find it looks he's got on one of the sites he's got some photos that he's posted. It's just this photo album that he's got posted online.
Okay.
And as you're checking out the photos, what you're seeing is that they are all they seem to be landscape aerial photos that he's very well done, but landscape aerial photos
Of the town.
of different places. Some the coast, what looks like the Pacific coast. Some from the deserts, things like that.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I would like to make an Instagram and a Twitter and Facebook account. And I'm gonna make it an EDU, make it look like an EDU, and I'm gonna pull up one of his printed works and link it as an attachment with a link tracker. And I'm going to ask him questions about my thesis to see if he responds. And I'm going to say I'm from the local college. Who wants to give me a fake name so I can catfish this man?
I need a good fake name.
I need a good fake name.
Dylan Sprouse. Your name is Dylan Sprouse.
The actor?
Oh. The Riverdale jokes just keep on coming.
Okay. I'm not doing that. I think everybody knew who that person is.
If I suggest a name, it's going to be a romance novel name. It's going to be
Give it to me.
Max Steel.
Caleb.
Oh, that's too much. I like Caleb.
Tristan. Tristan is a big one. Yeah, Tristan's a really big one.
Okay, Tristan what?
Oh, come on, no.
Tristan.
We could be horribly.
Steel.
How about
How about Cody Sprouse?
I can't use anybody of notoriety, guys.
Cody
No.
Sprouse isn't real.
Cody Sprouse isn't a real person.
Okay.
There you go.
Zach
Who-
Sprouse. Characters from that. It's his character from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, but
Cody Sprouse
Cody
22.
Sprousington. There you go.
goes to Redmond College, community college, and I will link his previous study with a link tracker, and I will go ahead and try to spread it around the university to see if anybody can contact him, as I need this for my thesis. What's his field of study?
Psychiatry.
Psychiatry. There we go. So for those of you who don't know, you can put a link and make it traceable with a code. So anybody who's ever clicked the link, even if it was shared from a different person that originally received it, you can pull their IP address from it. So as soon as he opens the link to his own study about my question, we can get his IP address and we can find his house.
I'm never stealing anything from Brian.
All you really ever had to do is just wiggle your fingers and say Glasswalker stuff.
You
Glasswalker.
really could have, but
I'm character acting. I want
I know.
specific results. I did this for 3 years.
So,
So-
Glasswalkering.
I'm glasswalkering. So, do I have to roll something to spread the information to see if the outreach ever gets to him?
Yeah, let's go ahead and make you make a wits. You don't want to try not to be too repetitive. Keep making you make the same roll, but wits. Yeah, let's just go with wits and computers. I'll say difficulty 7.
7.
The big challenge is going to be how fast does he get it?
Yeah. How much willpower do I have left? I'm willing. I'm able. Which of the tabs is my will again? Advantages.
Advantages.
Or I think my eyes are just not following it. Okay. I have 1 willpower left. Going all out for the team. Don't let me die in the field.
We won't let you die in the field. Don't worry.
Don't let me die in the hospital bed after the field either. I don't want that
You didn't ask for
workaround
that.
BS.
Still leaving an awful lot of room there.
I got 2 successes with the will.
So, you know that you've got the code set in there. You've got it set to give you an alert as soon as it happens, and as soon as you start getting people tracking it. Yeah. So you send it off. You got it all set up. You set it off, and it's now hurry up and wait. Was there any? Because it's still late at night.
right, he probably isn't going to check that in the middle of the night.
No, but I gotta tweet it during the morning and the lunchtime. That's how you hit your social media stuff.
Oh, you should be like the marketing manager for a up and coming streaming channel.
I'm too filthy to be a marketing manager. PSA, everybody, don't use public Wi-Fi. Have a VPN. Good night.
So Killian's gone and done Glasswalker shenanigans. Surprise. Is there anything else you'd like to try to do or accomplish this evening before daybreak?
I think we're stretching the definition of evening